Hey Tackle Warehouse fans, my name is Brent Ehrler and I'm a pro bass fisherman, and I am currently fishing the Bass Pro Tour, which is a brand new tour that just came out. I previously fished FLW and the Bass Elites, and now fishing Major League Fishing and the Bass Pro Tour. And right here is the basic setup that I'm going to use rod-wise for the season. It's all the Tatula Elite series made by Daiwa, and I kind of have them grouped in categories here. The neat thing about the Tatula Elite series is that they are all designed by the Daiwa Bass Pros for different applications. The other unique thing about it is that it's awesome for me because I can pick up a rod in a different series, a different guy's name, that is maybe not something that I'm comfortable with, meaning like a frog. That's not something that I typically go and just go, throw it all day. So when I don't know what to do when to throw a frog, at least technique-wise or for equipment-wise, guess what? I'm going to pick up the Ishman Row frog rod because I know he is very good at it. The same thing might be true with Ish. He might pick up my drop shot rod with a spinning rod because he knows that that's a comfortable technique for me, so he wants to do the same thing. So it's awesome that we've been able to design these rods and use them on tour. Now, not only did we design them, they didn't just say, here is a drop shot rod, use it, we're gonna put your name on it. I went through multiple blanks. I went through multiple different guide options. I went through multiple blank options to find what I felt was the best setup for that technique. And they did the same thing with all the other pros on the Daiwa staff. So it was really a lot of fun to get exactly what we wanted for different techniques. Now this whole setup right here, I have 3 rods. This is the cranking series that I designed under the Tatula Elite series. I have 3 models. They're all glass rods, and I've designed them for certain techniques. One is an 8-foot deep cranking rod. It's a medium heavy deep cranking rod for throwing big deep diving plugs, also medium diving plugs. But the 8 feet is good for casting, it's good for fighting the fish and landing them. You kind of have to have that combination of fighting and landing so you don't tear the treble hooks out. That's why I like glass rods. Now the other one that I designed is a 7.4 medium heavy. Again, it's in glass, and this one I designed specifically for vibrating jigs. And I went through probably 4 blanks, handle sizes, handle lengths to come up with this exact rod for vibrating jigs. And I think it's imperative that you throw a glass rod for using a vibrating jig. You just land more fish. Now the one I probably use the most is the 7.2 small crankbait. Now this is a medium action. The reason I use this the most is that I typically throw a Lucky Craft 1.5, a 1.5 DD, or a lot of just smaller to medium crankbaits in varied depths. I use this one the most, 7.2 medium action. It's a lighter rod, softer tip for making precise casts. If you're throwing a 1.5 and you're casting to a close target, if a fish bites and the rod is too stiff, you end up pulling the bait away from them. If the rod's too stiff, I can't make that precise cast. So this one is perfect for throwing any of those smaller crankbaits like a 1.5. So these are all under the Tatula Elite series that I've designed. They're all glass cranking rods. The next set of rods are kind of going to what I said before about the Ishman Row frog rod. It's a 7.4 Ishman Row frog rod. The other one I have is a 7.6 Ishman Row flipping stick. So the frog rod I'm going to use obviously for a frog, but I'm also going to use it for throwing big jigs, a 3/4 1 ounce jig. I'll also throw swim baits on it, throw Carolina rig on it. There's a number of things that I will do with this rod. I think the number one thing I do is throw a jig with this rod for open water jig, meaning casting a big open water jig. So the flipping stick, I obviously use it for flipping. I throw a Carolina rig on that as well. I also throw swim baits on it. You have to have these rods in the group because you need heavier action rods for doing different applications. You need the 7.6 for flipping, you need that longer length to be able to flip farther, to pitch farther, and pull the fish out of cover. So the Ishman Row Frog and flipping stick rod under the Tatula Elite series. And then now these two rods right here are ones that get more play throughout the season than any of the other rods. I'd say the 7.2 medium cranking, and then these three are the rods that I use in every situation. Every lake we go to across the country, these rods are on the deck. And the first one is a 7.3 medium heavy multi-purpose bait casting rod. This is one that I designed for doing everything. You can throw weightless Senkos, you can throw wacky rig Senkos, you can throw Texas rig baits on it. I flip with this a lot, pitch with it. It has a softer tip. I can make precise casts with it. I'll skip small jigs with this rod. I'll throw swim baits with this rod, spinner baits, buzz baits. It does everything. That's why we called it the multi-purpose rod. Now the last rod is a spinning rod. Now this is one that I designed for drop shot. It's a 7.1 medium action drop shot rod, but I designed it for doing everything spinning related. So Senkos, shaky heads, Ned rigs, Nako rigs, drop shot, swim baits. I do everything with this rod, the Tatula Elite Series drop shot rod. Before, I used to carry 3 or 4 different models of spinning rods with me on tour, and now I know that this is the rod to pick up. So if I'm throwing anything spinning related, it's with the 7.1 medium action drop shot rod. So both these 7.3 medium heavy multi-purpose for the bait casting and the 7.1 drop shot rod, you could almost survive an entire season with just these 2 rods. I'm not going to do it because we have the other models, but these things will do everything. So if you're looking for a rod in a spinning lineup to do everything, throw my drop shot rod. If you're going to look for a bait casting rod to do everything, do my multi-purpose rod. With this setup, you're going to have something in there to fit every need in any situation that you're going to have, and that's why I use them, because we get thrown into tons of different situations across the country. So pair them up with the Daiwa reels. Check out the videos that we've done on the different reels, pair them with those rods, and everything's available right here on tacklewarehouse.com.